So Xi from China apparently called to want to negotiate a deal. Go for it.
Volume.
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times. Yeah. From Japan? From Japan, I'm getting along very well with Japan. We're very close to a deal.
Will you be meeting with the President?
I'll be meeting with the Italian. Yes. Your Prime Minister?
No, with President Zelensky.
Oh, it's possible.
Is this the Time magazine, Rob?
So the Time magazine is a print interview, but this right in the beginning of the clip, they ask him, "Have you spoken to President?"
But he didn't say anything. He says, "I don't want to
I've
get
talked
into
to him
that."
multiple times.
Yeah,
That's all.
multiple times.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they've spoken multiple times today. Where is the Time magazine one that he says they spoke? Because
That is just a quote from the actual
Trump
article.
claimed in a Time magazine interview that Chinese President Xi called him to discuss trade negotiations, stating he's called, and I don't think that's a sign of weakness on his behalf, despite the Chinese foreign minister's assertion that reports of such talks were fake news and that China and the U.S. are not having any consultation or negotiation on tariffs. Trump initiated the trade conflict with a 34% tariff on China, later raised it to 145, and ended the de minimis commerce loophole, prompting China to claim it refuses negotiations for a more favorable U.S. deal. Trump expressed confidence in reaching deal, saying, there's a number at which they feel comfortable, but argued that China's trade surplus, which he called a trade deficit of $2 trillion, I consider that a loss, is unsustainable, and added, you can't let them make $1 trillion from us. So he's still staying on that with the trade deficit with them and China in regards to this. Tom, how much of this saying that China has reached out is trying to get the market out there to talk, and how much of that is a good move, bad move? What would you say to it?
Well, they're trying to make sentiment statements. And if the president is making this as a sentiment statement, in other words, you put a float out there to the market. You saw the way the stock market reacted a week ago when J.D. Vance had a very productive 2 days in India. The stock market loved it. Tariff situation calming down, massive country in India coming to make a deal with the U.S., market loves it. Well, so too will the market like anything that turns down the heat of China versus USA. And if it really happened, you can say it. But if it didn't happen, you got to be really careful about going out there and intimating that it happened. Because the market, number one, is going to react. But number two, the mainstream media is looking for any crevice or crack to say, aha, you're putting the spin on me. Yeah, the spin meister is accusing you of spin. So do I think there are ongoing conversations with the various ambassadorial levels and trade partners with China? Yeah, I do. Did Xi and Trump have a phone call back and forth that says, hey, I want to talk about trade? I don't know. China came pretty quick to the whip there to say, nope, we didn't have that phone call. You started this, you ratcheted it up, and we're concerned about it. So they came out with a full denial, either to make him look bad, even though, remember, they don't want to look bad. So if they had a confidential phone call with him and says, hey, let's talk about it, let's get this calmed down, and then he said something, let's say it happened that way, and then he says something, China's like, you're not going to make us look weak like we called you. And so they go out and deny it, even if it was true. That's China. They would absolutely deny it. On this side, if there were conversations and he kind of stepped on that, that's a risky thing to do.
Rob, can you play the clip of Gordon Chen saying what he's saying about what he thinks is going on here?
Gordon, first of all, why would China say that they haven't had any talks with the United States if, in fact, President Trump is telling the truth?
I think it's because Xi Jinping has staked his legitimacy on having surpassed the U.S. And so it's very difficult for him to then say, oh, we're bowing to pressure from President Trump and we're going to talk about tariffs and other things. So I think he's boxed himself in. But in general, since he's become China's ruler in late 2012, he has made the political system hostile, where only the most belligerent answers are considered to be acceptable. So he is a very, very thin line which he can walk right now.
Okay, so if they spoke, Trump would, if this is me, I'd say, hey, Xi, when I'm asked if we've spoken, I'm going to tell the market that we spoke. Are you good with that? So he either said yes or no. If he said no, you leak it, you lost negotiation trust. If he said yes, you leak it, they say that never happened, you lost it with me because now you're playing games. Either way, so it's three situations. The call never happened. President just said it to let the market think the call happened, okay? Which you can sit there and speculate what you think. The call happened. At the end, somebody said, well, I'm going to tell the public that we spoke. Are you okay with it? No. If you didn't do it, well, why did you say it? I said, don't do it. So there's only three scenarios in this place of what happened. And the only fourth scenario I can think about is the call happened and the question was never asked that if I'm asked that you and I have spoken, are you okay with me leaking it? You just told the public, period. And that could cause something as well. Viva, where are you at with this?
Or it's just a miscommunication and the person who denied that the call occurred didn't know that it occurred, or it occurred under the circumstances and Trump is trying to
Do you believe the
frame
call happened?
I believe they're in communication. I mean,
Do you think they spoke to each other directly?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I would not be surprised if it did occur. It would be something of a biggish, demonstrable, misleading statement if it didn't occur.
Tom, do you think they spoke?
I think they spoke. And I think that Xi was surprised that Trump talked about it and had to go out and do what Xi does, deny it.
No, I don't think they spoke. I think if Trump spoke with Xi, I think he would hype that up like no other. I think he would say something to the effect of, it was a perfect call, we had a great conversation, and he would lean into it. My indications are that they didn't really speak and that there's no conversation in sight. I think if you're looking at the rhetoric of what Xi is doing and all his foreign ministers, they are preparing for the long haul. I don't see the tariffs with China negotiation happening anytime soon. If you look at what Xi is doing, he's doing is what they call it, Pat, a charm offensive, going around, talking to people. And I think that there's no deal in sight. He's also preparing the Chinese people for winter is coming. He's basically saying, get used to what we're doing right now because we're going to make America pay. And ego is a hell of a thing. And if Trump is basically trying to like power play Xi, who has more credibility over their people? Who has more sustainability over their people? It's Xi. Because if you say the wrong thing about Xi, you're missing. Right?
You're right.
Jack Ma?
Yeah.
How you looking? So, you say the wrong thing about Trump, half the country's going to love you and applaud you. So Xi is a dictator in a suit and tie. Don't get it twisted. But more importantly than a call, whether they had the call or not to me is almost irrelevant, is a deal on the table. Trump is famous for the art of the deal. I don't see a deal getting done anytime soon with Xi.
Vinny.
No, well, listen, I can't speak on yes or no, but all I know is that from what I've been hearing, from what I've been seeing, China is hurting really bad, but you just nailed it, Adam. You think they're going to promote that their economy shit, there's all the houses that they built, the sentiment, the unemployment for the youth. I mean, I wouldn't know if they talked or not, but I think, because I know we're going to get into it, Pat, with the tariffs and the stuff that's happening right now, stuff is starting to shift towards us, and it's happening.
Well, let me read this.
Patrick, there's a fifth option, which is that this is all part of the agreement. President Trump knows Xi has to maintain save face among his people, and he'll deny it.
Save a face!
You do remember, there was a similar-ish incident where Trudeau was leaking the contents of his conversations with Xi to the media, and then Xi publicly admonished him. And he says it's inappropriate that you leak our confidential. So the way it's done was not to shame Trump for having leaked it. To me, it seems as ways he's got to save face among his people so that he doesn't look weak, and they both get to look strong.
Well, listen, hope you're right, but we'll see. Hope you're right. During a season like this, where a lot of people are going through challenging times, they're worried. They don't know what's going on. Some of the people are having a hard time with their finances, with their small businesses, with their careers, with their families. Stress, period, anxiety, any of that stuff. I said, I think we need something to make people's day. And I think our audience wants to participate in that. So what do? We sat there and said, we want to come up, since our audience, a lot of business owners, executives, small business owners, entrepreneurs, we want to give you the opportunity to send a package to anybody you know that's going through a challenging time with a heartfelt message to make their day. So today we're launching this new initiative called When Life Gives You Lemons, what do? Make lemonade. This program right here, Rob, if you want to play the clip. So we're sitting, we come up with this idea. Here's what it is. The box is when you choose to order this program that we have, okay, You send this box. We send it on behalf of you. That box right there, they open it up. There's a video message being played by me, an encouraging message about what they're going through today. They get a hat. On top of that, they get the smell. When you open this up, it smells like lemon. Literally, when you open it up. You get to pick and choose. My video is playing right here when they open it up. Obviously, I'm going to press pause here. But it's an encouraging message. You get to pick and choose what color hat they get. It's either the white lemon hat with Valuetainment and a lemon on the back, and it says, when life gives you a lemon. In the middle, it says, make lemonade. You can choose the green hat, or you can choose the red and green, all of this, but the black and green in it. Anyways, inside of it, when you open it up, there's a Valuetainment paper that's in it. There is this lemon squeezer that's in it. You got these, what do you call these things?
Air fresheners.
Air fresheners in the car. You got a bunch of stickers, bunch of lemons, and then stress balls in it, okay? They're going to laugh. They're going to have fun with it. But if you're somebody that's watching this, you have a friend, a family member, a coworker that's really going through it today, and you want to put the biggest smile on their face, representing both Valuetainment and the individual that's going through it, go to vtmerch.com, Rob, if you can help them walk through this. And there's going to be a card in it. You can go to vtmerch.com. Rob, if you can go to the card so they can see what that'll look like. So they'll get that box. You see the future looks bright on it, hashtag. And then the note right there with your name on the bottom left, meaning sent to you with care from your name being in there. So this is more than just a box. It's a message of optimism, encouragement, and the power of turning life's lemons into something amazing. We want to be able to use these opportunities to make people's days. We did this with only a limited 500 of these. We don't have more of these. These are all handmade. These took 6 weeks to make. So we only have 500 supply. The cost on this, we're making no money on this. This is $74.99 to ship it to somebody with everything that's in there. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And when you do, be sure in the shipping address, you put their shipping address. Unless if you want one that comes to you, they're going to be limited supplies. You can have one being shipped to you and you go deliver to somebody. I'm personally sending 10 to people that I know, and I think Pierre Poliev's on the list of one of the ones that I have that I'm shipping it to.
Put an apple in that one.
Yeah, put an apple in there too.
They're going to be going to some of the people that I have as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.